Okay, I just got done watching Time for School, and there's a lot of information in it. A lot of things that I had never thought about before. Um, I just thought it was crazy how different these countries are when it comes to education and how important it is for those kids to go to school when kids in our country like don't even they just take it for granted, and then so many people complain about it every single day in class, and it's such a privilege to be able to have the chance to learn all that we can here. So I just thought it was crazy. Shugufa in Afghanistan, she loved school. That's all she ever did. She she worked all day and had tons of chores, and yet she still wanted to go to school and to get an education. And honestly, if I were her in that country, like it's dangerous for girls to go to school, and I thought that was crazy that in spite of the danger, it was still that important to her. Like there were schools that had 600 schools shut down because of violence, and like it just goes to show how important education is to her and her family, and that they would risk her dying or being like severely hurt just to get an education. Makes me grateful for the education that I am able to get. And then in Brazil, that one was pretty shocking too, how in the favelas like there's so much drugs and the gangs, and like when the police aren't there, everything's great. Nobody gets hurt, nobody gets shot. But they said that 2/3 of children drop out by grade 8, and it made me sad because he worked so hard to get ahead in school, and then they held him back because they were worried that he wouldn't be mature enough to be able to handle the weight of being with older kids, just because there's such a pressure um, to become a drug dealer. Like his mom even said that she was worried about his sister becoming a whore or a prostitute, and and then her son becoming a drug dealer. And I thought that was so sad that that's something that she worries about on a daily basis, and there's nothing she can really do about it because she doesn't have the means to do anything. She just is hoping that her children can get an education and that they can be they'll survive, and that they won't get caught up in that. Um, so it was that one was kind of a depressing story, just because he worked so hard, and yet just because of his circumstances, they just didn't think that he was ready to handle the weight of the world, basically, and to handle the older kids. And so yeah. And then Neeraj from India, that one kind of made me sad too, just because her family didn't really, especially her mom, she said that, like, what's the point of being educated? Like, the people that are educated here don't do anything, they just sit around, so why not be productive and to work with, like, to work with the animals and to actually have fun and to do things and be productive. And so I just thought it was interesting that it just wasn't a huge priority for her parents, and her mom was happy that she got a second grade education. And to me, like, that's nothing. Like, that's hardly an education at all. Um, so I don't know. I wasn't really surprised that she dropped out, um, just because she didn't have that support from her family, like the girl from Afghanistan. Girl from Afghanistan, her family was, they knew it was an important thing, and that it was a privilege for her to go. And Neeraj in India, her family just didn't see the importance in it. And I guess it doesn't help that her school is shut down, and it's just hard because when you live in a different country like that, you have different obligations. Like she had to go to school at night, and I don't know. She had to help with family stuff. So because of that family stuff, that she fell behind and just was never able to actually recover. And then Japan, that one was pretty crazy, but I kind of already knew. Um, I thought it was crazy that for secondary school, the enrollment rate is 100%. And this kid has access to everything. He was given the opportunity to go to like a preschool that's available for everybody, and he's going to one of the most demanding and successful schools there are. And I just thought it was crazy. They push education so much, and it's something so available to them, like even more so than the U.S. Except the kids in Japan actually, I think, appreciate it more. They like going to school. They know that it's important. Whereas I think a lot of kids in the United States think of it more as a burden instead of an opportunity. I think that's something that we definitely need to change. It's opened my eyes a little bit. I don't know. It was a great video. I learned a lot.